All right, so here is exam 4.1. Walk through that. So the first question is, which region of the electromagnetic spectrum has the longest wavelengths? Radio. Shortest wavelengths, on the other hand, are gamma rays. 23. What is the energy of the photon with a wavelength of 965 meters? To answer this question, you got to use a couple of different equations. The first equation is C is equal to lambda, which is your wavelength, times frequency, or it's displayed as mu. The next equation that you have to use is H is equal to Planck's constant, or sorry, E is equal to Planck's constant, or H, times V. I'm saying V. So what you do is you take 3.0 times 10 to the 8th. You set that equal to 965 times V. So you divide 3.0 times 10 to the 8th by 965. Then you take that resulting V and you multiply that by 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34th, and you end up with D as your correct answer option. Number 24. If n equals 1, select the correct combination of L and M sub L values. Okay, so if n equals 1, then L can only be 0. Okay, so that means that A is off the table, C is off the table, D is off the table. If L equals 1, then M sub L can only equal 0. So our correct answer option for this is B. Number 25. If L equals 2, this is in reference to a sorry, 0 is an s orbital, 1 is a p orbital, 3 or C, L equals 2, 0, 1, 2. That is a d orbital. So C, it's number 25. Number 26. The shape of a p orbital is sometimes referred to as A, a sphere, B, a dumbbell, C, a double dumbbell, and D, none of the above. You know what? I realized in class that I probably used the phrase bow tie more than dumbbell. So I'm just going to give credit to, as long as you put B or C, I'm going to give you credit for this one. So I'm going to mark it as B is the correct answer. That's the best answer. But I can see how you would arrive at double dumbbell. Actually, I'm going to mark it as B. But if you answer B, C, or D, I will give you credit for that. A is not an acceptable answer. So, but the best answer is dumbbell. But I realize I used bow tie. Okay, 27. How many different orientations can the F orbital have in 3D space? The F orbital can have 7 different orientations. C. Number 28. What is the electron configuration of indium? Indium. Correct answer is A. Now, B is accurate, but that is not the electron configuration. That's the core configuration, the core notation. So, yeah, A is the correct answer. Number 29. The element Nd is found in the, well, that is found in the actinides and lanthanides. So that would be D, the F block. Hund's rule states that Hund's rule is where you have an electron going up, 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 and then you fill in down, down, down. So the correct answer option for this is B. One electron will be placed in the P sub X orbital, then in the PY, then in the PZ, and only after that will a second electron be placed in the PX orbital. So number 30 is B. sure my number is correct. Number 31, how many electrons does Cl have in any of its d orbitals? Okay, Cl has a 0 electrons in the d orbitals. So number 32, core notation, electron configuration, always uses the nearest preceding noble gas. So B is the correct answer for 33. Which are larger in general than their parent atoms? Cations or anions? Well, anions have one extra electron, so they're going to be a little bit larger. B is your correct answer for 34. 33. Which atom would you expect based on the trend to be the largest? Well, our trend for atomic radius is lower left-hand corner of the periodic table. So if you're to look at the periodic table, you would look for whatever is in the lowest left-hand corner. And our answer for that, the substance that's in the lowest left-hand corner, would be francium. 34 is number 35. Which atom do you expect the highest ionization energy? Well, periodic trends for highest ionization energy is up and to the right. And so A, helium, would be our correct answer for that. Number 36, how many electrons does S2- have in its 3p orbital? It's got a full slate of p orbitals, so A is 6. Our most electronegative element is fluorine. A. How many total electrons are present on the molecule SF6? So if we're drawing this, we're going to come up with a grand total of 48 because we've got a total of 6 fluorines. Each fluorine brings 7 valence electrons. So 4 times 7 is 42. Sulfur is bringing in 6 of its own, so that's a total of 48. A is the correct answer for number 38. Number 39. How many lone pair of electrons are present on the central atom PCl5? Well, P is bringing in 5 electrons, Cl, each one of those is bringing in 7, so that's a total of 40 electrons. And when you draw this structure out, you will identify that there are 0 lone pairs of electrons on that phosphorus. What is the molecular geometry of PCl5? Well, PCl5, when you draw that molecule out, you will learn that that is basically 2 pyramids. So that is the trigonal bipyramidal nucleus. What is the formal charge of the nitrogen in this model shown below? Anytime that nitrogen has 4 bonds to it, it's going to have a formal charge of +1. Number 42. Using the same picture, what are the formal charges on the oxygen atoms leading from left to right? Well, when you have an oxygen atom that has a single bond to it, that's going to be a molecule. That's going to be an atom with a -1 charge. Oxygen likes to have 2 bonds and 2 lone pairs of electrons. So this is going to be -1 and 0. So the B is our correct answer for 42. Number 43, if a molecule has a polar bond, it is a polar molecule under all circumstances. That is untrue. As a molecule could have 4 polar bonds and they'll all just cancel one another out. How many sigma bonds does this molecule shown below have? Okay, a sigma bond is your first bond. So if we count all that up, I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in. So counting clockwise, counterclockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 11 whenever I'm talking about the bonds outside of my rings. Within my rings, I have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 for my bond that connects the two, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 is the correct number of bonds between atoms on this compound. Now, if you were to look at this in a slightly different way, how many pi bonds does it have? Well, your answer for the number of pi bonds that it has is looking for the number of double bonds. I see a total of 6 double bonds, so I've got a total of 6 pi bonds. Number 45, a hybrid orbital is that is sp3d2 is considered to be A, 20% D, B, 40% P, C, 50% P, D, 50% S. The correct answer is A, 26% D, because you've got 5 parts, S, P, 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 D. So it's 5 parts. One of them is D. So 1 out of 5 is 20%. So number 45 is A. 46. A resonance structure is blank of all possible structures. It's an average. A molecule of CH4 is said to be, well, it has a central atom, 4 things around it. S, P, P, P. sp3 hybridized. B is the correct answer for number 47. Okay, well, that wraps up exam 4.1. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a good one.